Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It's Thursday, June 26th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
It's the song which opened the eyes of an entire generation of Canadian music lovers in the mid-70s.
I told the story of when I was 16 and first heard harmonium. I was amazed, and I couldn't believe that there was a band like this that good in our own backyard, and it opened my eyes to Quebec art and culture.
The band's spiritual leader and singer, Serge Fiori, died suddenly on Saint-Jean-Baptiste Day, stunning Quebec as it prepared to celebrate the Fête Nationale.
I didn't expect that he died so fast. I was talking, three nights ago, I was talking with him. He was like, okay, he was sick.
Fiori was also an enigmatic figure, uncomfortable with fame. After Harmonium disbanded in 1979, Fiori never stepped on a concert stage again. But the band did achieve a level of success unheard of at the time for a group that sang in French.
And we tried to find this company here in Quebec, and everybody was saying no. Songs are too long. Too many la 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 la. So it's a company from Toronto. They called us. They said, we're interested to sign you guys. So we were surprised because we went everywhere.
Fiori's biographer says there was one compromise Fiori wouldn't make.
He refused $1 million in 1978 from Columbus, who wanted to sign an album with him. But he had to sing in English, and he refused it.
The band performed across Canada. They packed Toronto's Maple Leaf Garden, among other places, always singing in French.
Chom made harmonium in Quebec. After 2 weeks to 3 weeks after the first album, everything like it was. We can hear harmonium on radio, but mainly it's the English people who start the thing.
The Quebec government has now offered a national funeral for Fiori and is awaiting his family's response. But for his millions of fans, the music will remain immortal.
Jess and I were in British Columbia and we were missing Quebec. We would put on a harmonium album and open a bottle of wine, and it would send us back home.
Stéphane Giroux, CTV News.
With all the pomp and circumstance befitting the occasion, 31 people were awarded the Order of Canada at Rideau Hall by Governor-General Mary Simon.
Oh, Canada.
The Order of Canada was created in our centennial year, 1967. To thank these trailblazers for their dedication to community and for their service to Canada as a whole.
In addition, 29 others received the Meritorious Service Medal for their work in a specialized field, advocacy, healthcare, research, and humanitarian efforts, which brings us to a basketball superfan.
Navdeep Singh Bhatia.
Nav Bhatia is well known for his love of the game, but it is his work off the sidelines which garnered this attention.
Toronto Raptors superfan Nav Bhatia created the Nav Bhatia Superfound Foundation to build basketball courts and host camps for kids from low-income communities. The foundation also donates sports equipment to schools in Toronto and has raised tens of thousands of dollars for World Vision Canada's Daughter of India project. Your Excellency, superfan Mr. Bhatia.
Also recognized today,
Diane Clemens and Michael Pinball Clemens are the driving force behind the Pinball Clemens Foundation, which empowers youth through education. The organization provides financial assistance to students in need and mentoring programs to help them in transition into the workforce.
The best way to honor the past is the promise of a future, right? If there isn't a better tomorrow, right, then what happened in the past is at some level in vain.
Anyone can nominate someone for the Order of Canada, and there is no deadline. The order recognizes dedication to the community, outstanding achievement, and service to the country in all sectors of society. Andrea Case, CTV News.
Less than 24 hours before the first teams drop in, the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium is nearly set for the Call of Duty League Championships weekend.
This is the biggest event we've ever had. We've held 4 or 5 events now in Toronto, always majors. This being the championship, we expected a bigger audience and we got it.
It's the first time the 4-day esports tournament has come to Canada, featuring 12 teams of the best professional players in the world competing for a prize pool of $2 million US.
I'm very excited to get it going. This is like the tournament everyone's trying to play for, the one we all look forward to the end of the year. So excited to get in there and hopefully cement my legacy.
Unlike a concert, the stage sits in the middle of the arena, allowing for additional fans to fill the floor, and there's major technology upgrades to make sure the matches run smoothly.
For being a historic venue like this, it's pretty modern. It's up to date. We're having great access. The region has been tremendous.
Organizers explored other venues, but say the odd fit the bill for capacity, and the region of Waterloo's passion for showcasing esports is the perfect fit.
I feel like every year that I've been a part of it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And when I first joined the league, there wasn't very many Canadian fans. And then over the years, it's gradually just got more and more intense to the point now where we're like selling out venues with just pure Canadian fans.
While floor tickets are now sold out, there are still some bowl seats available, and organizers are expecting around 15,000 people to pass through the Odd over the 4 days. And despite the Odd's first run at a major esport event, Duffy says this could be a sign of what's to come.
Call of Duty's our biggest here in North America, but we also have a League of Legends team, a Valorant team, EAFC, and beyond. I can see us coming back to Kitchener many times.
The tournament kicks off Thursday afternoon with the grand finals set for Sunday. Colton Ween, CTV News, Kitchener.
Jonathan and Nicholas are working on their serves. They started playing pickleball 2 years ago.
I love the sport. I love how it's active. Gets you out and gets you active and energy.
It's all about the energy and all the running you can do.
The Edmonton Pickleball Club hosts a Special Olympics program Tuesday nights. Players learn the basics of the sport, do some drills before playing a friendly game. It's more than just getting active.
Yeah, I like hanging out and making new friends.
The program is run by club volunteers.
I've been doing this for a number of years now, and I've gotten to know some of the kids, and they know me, and oh, hi Coach, hi Steve, and you know, it's really fun. I just enjoy doing this, and I look forward to it every year.
According to Pickleball Canada, the governing body for the sport, more than 1 million Canadians play pickleball at least once a month.
Pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports right now, so there's a lot of people who haven't played it. So I think the volunteers, because they're familiar with the game, they get that opportunity to share their knowledge and get more people interested in the sport.
Pickleball Canada says its membership reached 85,000 by the end of last year. These athletes are happy for the helping hand.
I like the coaches taking one-on-one time to help us get the perfect perform in pickleball and get the right action to get the shot over.
While pickleball isn't an official Special Olympics sport,
I think it's going to be in the Special Olympics, pickleball.
I think it is.
Jonathan and Nicholas say they will be ready to compete for gold if and when that day happens. Nairnisa.
Oh, nice!
CTV News, Edmonton.
To make a garden like this come to life, you need more than just one person. For Esther Chen, it's a family affair and a way of life.
It's just a habit. I like flowers and plants, and gardening is very rewarding because they will come back year after year.
Her garden wasn't like this when she first bought the place. She basically had to start from scratch.
When we first bought this house, the backyard is only like pure grass. There's nothing gardening at all. No flower beds, no shrubs, nothing.
So she rolled up her sleeves and got to work. Her efforts included rescuing dying trees and shrubs from her customers' backyards, giving them another chance at life.
So lots of dying shrubs, if you taking care of them, they can actually revive.
Now her hard work is being rewarded. Chen's garden was named as one of the 14 Gardens of Distinction by Nature Manitoba. Her garden will be shown to the public this upcoming Saturday for the organization's fundraising event.
They get to take pictures, they get to learn about plants they've never seen. There's a lot of times where the gardeners have got plants that you will never see in the garden centers.
Now, Master Gardener Tim Evans is looking for the next hidden gardening legends. Nature Manitoba plans to visit the northeast corner of Winnipeg for the next edition of the Gardens of Distinction. But for now, it's Chen's time to shine.
So it will be a good show. So I hope more people can come to see what I can do.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
All right, is everyone on a screen that looks like this?
Shirley Lamb is the first to admit she has fallen behind on the technology highway.
I have a computer that was given to me 2 years ago, and I don't even know how to turn it on.
Lamb and many other seniors in need of tech help have come to today's Seniors Technology Summer Camp at the Goderich Legion to get all their tech questions answered, and they've got plenty of questions.
I want to learn how to use the iPhone, iPad, more direction.
I need to be updated a little bit, I think, and making sure that I'm not getting scammed, because I have been.
Scams were just one of the many things that were brought forward at the Tech Help Day put on by the Gateway Center of Excellence in Rural Health, which is a rural healthcare research institute based in Huron County.
So tech is super overwhelming and it's constantly changing, and it can be a pretty overwhelming thing for seniors to try and keep up and try and keep with all the new technology that's coming up. So we're trying to bridge that gap and kind of create a one-on-one tech help where someone can just sit with them and walk them through it. Sometimes it's not even that difficult. They just need a little bit of support.
Not knowing how to check your email can not only be frustrating, it can affect seniors' mental health, say Gateway researchers.
And we're definitely seeing that loneliness in seniors in the community, especially in the rural area where we've got farmers and people who may not be living in town and who may be especially isolated in society.
For the many seniors taking advantage of the Tech Help today, it's a much-needed boost to their confidence when it comes to living in a digital world.
It'll be really helpful. Absolutely. Look at how many people are here. It's amazing.
I want to feel that I'm in the real world now because everybody's using it, so.
I'm really impressed with the number of people that have come, so obviously I'm not the only one that's lost when it comes to devices.
While today's Seniors Technology Camp is sort of the kickoff to summer, there's actually tech help happening every Wednesday morning here at the Goderich Legion through the Gateway Center, because the internet never ends. In Goderich, Scott Miller, CTV News.
This old house in Sydney's North End has become a place to call home for a group of students who moved half a world away to start a new life here.
Just like a home away from home.
The Greg Mloud House serves as a residence for 7 Cape Breton University international students at a time in a community where housing is hard to come by. It's a fairly spacious place to live and is considered a link between the school and the community.
They have to file an application form at first, then they will be called for an interview by the board of directors. So then they will be selected according to their need.
If students have problems with employment, sometimes there are problems with legal matters, we do what we can to help them with that.
Father Bill Burke is a Roman Catholic priest in Sydney who serves as a co-chair on the Greg Mloud House Committee. He says the building was given to the international student community by Mloud and Father Dan Doucette when it became clear that good places to live would be at a premium.
Housing has always been an issue, and so they each have their own room. There are 4 bathrooms, 2 kitchens. It's a wonderful residence, a beautiful backyard.
The house is also meant to carry on the legacy of Father Greg Mloud, who lived here himself until passing away a few years back.
Greg was very concerned about integration. Greg was very concerned about racism. Greg was very concerned about any kind of injustice. But also the overall development of the community, and he felt that immigration would be excellent for Sydney in terms of our economic development.
The housing manager says the best part about living here are the memories made within the walls and in the garden out back.
We have a special bonds. I feel so lucky and I feel like a homely atmosphere here.
Home sweet home, just as Father Greg had in mind. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
A telltale sign is a yard with dead grass surrounded by green lawns. Nathan Tobias has to get low to find a chinch bug, but it doesn't take long.
Now, this is perfect
environment for chinch bugs to really start to get very active and start to do damage, because they love hot and dry. They do not like cold and wet.
James Soika owns yard dogs and says last year's water restrictions combined with hot weather made for a perfect environment for the bugs.
They will over time start to suck the juices from their blades of grass, inject a toxin, and it will cause damages up to the point where someone has to completely resod a lawn. They will completely destroy a lawn if they can go unchecked and untreated.
Tamara Schutzley wants to prevent that from happening to her lawn. She makes sure the grass isn't cut too short and has plenty of water.
The problem is yes, like my lawn looks green now, but if everybody doesn't take care of and do their part, like it's just going to keep coming back. So it needs to be like a community thing where we do it together.
Jackie Lebenzon is an assistant professor at the University of Calgary who studies insects. She says bug activity is determined by the temperature.
When it's hot, they're going to be moving fast and they're going to be out and active and foraging and finding food. And so because of the heat, I think that was really the kicker last year. So if we have a cooler August, it might be a little less extreme.
She knows that many Calgarians don't like spiders, wasps, or ants, but says insects make up 3/4 of all animals that live on land and pollinate 75% of all the food we eat.
The insects that are around that sting or bite or cause any harm are the ones that give people pause about, getting full into entomology. But I think if you let them be and just kind of give, the insect space and not be so scared or dead set on eradicating them, I think people can, start to see the beauty.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Born as a Palestinian refugee in Lebanon, Rana Kais had a long road to become a Canadian citizen, but she says it was worth it.
We couldn't get any passport in Lebanon. We just had a travel document in Lebanon. And accordingly, many rights were not granted as we're not being recognized in the Geneva Convention as refugees.
Kais didn't have a passport until she became a Canadian citizen in her 30s.
Canada is built in a kind of mosaic, with immigrants and refugees from all around the world. So I felt like it's a country that's going to be embracing me and at the same time give me a sense of belonging.
An educator by trade, she first came to Canada in 2004 with hopes of becoming a teacher. She took the required courses to teach in Canada, but it wasn't a clear path to employment.
I applied to around I still remember the list, probably 100 opportunities, and I didn't get any call for an interview. Though I had around 10 years of experience within the education system.
Eventually, Kais was hired as a multicultural liaison at schools in the capital before landing a job helping newcomers find employment, all while leaning on her own experiences.
And the minute they call and say, hey, I got it, and then I want to share my happiness, that's my ultimate happiness for sure. Because you feel the reward.
The latest data from Stats Canada shows nearly a quarter of Canada's population is made up of immigrants. That's the highest proportion of new Canadians in more than 150 years. In all, Canada is home to more than 8 million immigrants looking to build a life in the Great White North.
Give newcomers a chance to prove themselves, because I do believe a person who immigrated and then chose to come to Canada, they do have their skills and they would love to contribute. They'd love to make a difference.
Austin Lee, CTV News.
They arrive without warning and leave just as suddenly, but when they're here, you'll know it.
We get thousands of them.
You just use the mail and swat around you as you're walking.
The fish fly, or mayfly, is a sign of a healthy Lake Erie, but it also brings headaches to towns along the shoreline.
If it's good for the environment, I'm happy to see them, but they are kind of a pain in the neck.
The good thing is they're only here for a couple of weeks.
They're feeding the environment needs it, but what a mess.
In places like Kingsville and Leamington, the invasion has become part of summer life.
The town's been fabulous cleaning it up. We haven't had any accidents. Some years it makes such a grease lick that the cars go to stop and they go right into the fence down here at Seacliff Park. But for the most part, it's been okay.
I don't know why they use my car as a target, but they do.
With short lifespans and no mouths, fish flies don't do harm, but they do disrupt daily life. Some businesses even adjust hours or cleaning routines during the height of the hatch.
This year seems to really, there's a lot of them.
I don't like it. They smell, and there's no sense in trying to clean it off until they're all done coming here.
The good news, the season usually only lasts a couple of weeks.
When mayflies are thriving and hatching, that's telling you that you have a lot of oxygen in the water, and it basically suggests that things are getting pretty good.
The bad news, we're right in the thick of it.
The one big thing is they smell bad. When they're dead, they smell like fish. We turn off the outside lights at night. We hose off our cars. They're not particularly creepy. They're just kind of annoying.
For now, it's brooms, buckets, and a whole lot of patience.
Free fish flies, bring your own buckets, bring your own truckloads at a time. I'll give you the shovels if you want. You can clean them up on your own first thing in the morning.
As you can see behind me, the fish flies are still clinging on to every surface that they can find, including myself. Town crews are doing the best they can to keep things clean, but for now, Leamington residents are scooping, sweeping, and swatting these bugs away. Ricardo?
Okay, Chris, thank you for that. Yeah, I know them well. Hallmark of living in Leamington. That's CTV's Chris Campbell tonight.
Since 2019, Sticks and Doodles has been creating custom sign and art pieces in the Regina area. Now the family-owned company is looking to expand and grow through a new upscaling program offered through Economic Development Regina.
We've now reached a point where we'd like to continue growing, but we need more we need help. When EDR comes around and they say we have this available for you or we can actually help solve these problems, it really is the ticket for us to take that next step, which will allow us to support our community better.
This is the first cohort of businesses taking part in the Upscale Business Growth Program. Each business will receive one-on-one guidance and have access to professional services to establish a foundation for long-term success. Each company selected is unique and has their own ambitions for the future.
As a Regina-based entrepreneurial company, being able to access the resources through Economic Development Regina and through other kinds of supports across the province is really something. It's been great for being able to really demonstrate the value and efficacy of the Green Wave platform, and we're just very excited to be able to showcase that on a national level.
There were more than 20 companies who applied to take part. There are plans to have new cohorts in the future, elevating and growing Regina businesses.
These companies have chosen to build and grow and expand here in Regina, and we know that they make up the biggest portion of the GDP here in our region. And so we're really excited to be able to do something to help them achieve that further success.
The Upscale Business Program is scheduled to run for the next 3 years and was made possible through funding from Prairie's Economic Development Canada. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
Down this path right here.
We're one of Julie Sitnin's daycare kids, found inside this little house, alongside a pair of dolls, a single unhatched egg.
So one of my kids is actually anaphylactic to eggs, so I freaked out a little bit.
Well, it felt unusually heavy for a chicken egg. It was not unusual for Coral Clay to offer help.
Created a little nest for it.
Coral also grabbed a heater to keep it warm, added a stuffy to keep it company, and called a few animal rescue organizations that might keep it safe. But they couldn't help.
We were left with just leaving nature to do its thing, which made us all very sad.
Until Julia texted her friend, who works at this cafe on a farm, and Isaiah Cardelicia agreed to care for the egg overnight before taking it to work the next day.
Pretty bizarre, but I knew Tara would be interested in it.
Tara McMullen, who's Isaiah's boss, who suspected the egg had been abandoned because something was wrong with it.
Told everybody, don't hold your breath for this. This is not gonna happen.
Still, Tara placed it in her incubator and looked after it for weeks before out popped a baby peacock.
It was absolutely perfect. It's just the cutest little thing in the world.
They named him Chickpea, and Tara spent the next few days caring for him round the clock.
Doesn't matter if it's a baby peacock, a baby kitten, a baby dog, or a baby. They're all a lot of work.
Which is why Tara is so grateful a local veterinarian who owns a chicken has agreed to adopt Chickpea, so the hen can raise the peacock as one of her own.
I absolutely know he will have the best life ever.
While they say it takes a village to raise a child well, when it comes to an abandoned peacock egg, it takes a collective of kind people to raise a chickpea well.
It doesn't matter what it is. Be kind. Spread the love. Everybody wins.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, North Saanich.